Right, so this lesson is 4-4, linear inequalities. And we're going to take a linear inequality with two variables, an x and a y, and we're going to graph it. All right, so let's take a look at the example. Y is greater than 3x plus 2. So we're going to treat this almost as if it was a linear equation, as if it said y equals 3x plus 2. But we can't forget that it's an inequality sign and not an equal sign. So we're going to graph it the same way as we would if this were a line, where the number in front of my x is my slope, and then my number over here, the positive 2, is my y-intercept. So when we're graphing, that's our starting point. So my y-intercept is at 2, which is right here. And then my slope, well, it's 3 over 1. So we're going to rise up 3. We'll go up 1, 2, 3, right 1. And we can go in both directions. So I can go down from my y-intercept 1, 2, 3, left 1. And go in the complete opposite direction. But here is the part that's different. Okay? We have to look at our inequality sign. So my inequality sign here is greater than. Now remember, if we have just greater than or just less than, then we have a dashed line. So if I'm going to draw my line, it's not going to be a solid line. I'm going to draw a dashed line between these points. Okay. I'm just going to add my arrows on the bottom. All right, well now we have to figure out which way we're going to shade. So we have to look at our sign, and we're going to think about what makes sense in our equation. So you can pick test points to either the left or the right. I always normally like to pick 0, 0 as my test point. And then if I'm testing it, if I plug in 0 for x and y, and we're going to see if this makes sense. So 0 is greater than 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. Is 0 greater than 2? No, 0 is not greater than 2. So that means that point is not part of my solution. So we're going to shade away from that point. And that's our solution for this problem. Okay, so let's take a look at example 2. We have y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. So again, I'm going to start with my y-intercept. My y-intercept's at negative 1. So we're going to plot our point down here at negative 1. And my slope is negative 2, over positive 1. So we're going to go down 2, right 1. Down to right 1. I'm going to keep going in both directions. And then we have to look at what kind of line I'm drawing. Well, here I have a less than or equal to sign. If we have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, well, those two signs are occluding, so they have a solid line. So when we draw our line in on the graph, we're going to have a solid line. Okay, you don't always have to pick test points. Remember, I had you guys think about this also when we were graphing. If you look at your y, well, this is telling me all of my y values have to be less than my line, my function. So where are your y values less than this line that you're drawing? Is it above up here? No. Or is it below? Well, your y values have to be smaller than this line, so it's going to be below down here. And then that's our solution.